Today is May 19th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com, presented by Royal Banks, Missouri, Munganess, St. Louis Acura. I am Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. And Rammer, yesterday, history was made at Busch Stadium for the first time since 1940. The Cardinals hit 7 home runs in a home game. Ironically enough, last time they did it also against the Dodgers, the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Pretty fun night at the Yard. There's no question about that. And that's the kind of we've seen in the last 10, 12 days, the kind of offense, even in some games that the couple of games Cardinals lost. And, you just see better at bats up and down the lineup. And you enjoy when the big boys do what they're supposed to do, but also contributions from bench and part-time guys. So it's hard to be unhappy with that one, certainly from the offensive side.
Wilson Contreras last night in the game, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. He gets his first curtain call as a Cardinal, but I mean, it all keeps coming back to Nolan Gorman and what he's doing. It's to the point now where it feels like it's almost expected for him to put up power numbers every game. We kind of just overlook it. Like last night, it was, Wilson Contreras, 2 home runs. And then you're scrolling through the box scores. You're like, oh yeah, Nolan Gorman also 2 home runs. Like it's just kind of a side note with how good of a year he's having.
I have to disagree with you. Maybe you're not aware he can't hit left-handers.
Well, yeah. Home run against Julio Urias yesterday kind of shot down that, and maybe that gives him a lot more opportunities here in the next few weeks. But Rammer, you called it, saying that you thought he was going to start 3 out of 4 games, and that's one that they gave him.
Yeah. It's interesting too, as we keep score on the BS that we spew, is to be fair, I kind of was thinking like the Cardinals after last year and coming into the regular season. Okay, looks like Nolan will be a platoon DH and that'll be fine. But once you started to see his at-bats, certainly by the second full week of the season, I think it became pretty obvious that this guy needs to play every day until, unlike the Cardinals, I don't make declarative statements that don't have context until he shows that he can't do it. And I think we're seeing that's true. Also in the keeping score category, I said in spring training that Mercado should have been on the team. I need to put this on a T-shirt, on a Daily Cards Live T-shirt. Prospects need to play. Bench guys need to be on your bench.
That was, I believe, was that Nolan Gorman's first home run against a left-handed pitcher, though? I believe, as I'm looking at his platoon stats, I'm on Baseball Reference right now.
Are the Cardinals paying you now? Because that's exactly what they would say. But how can you hit home runs when you don't play against lefties?
I am on Baseball Reference right now. I'm on Nolan Gorman's page right now, and I'm just telling Rammer he has 37 plate appearances against lefties, 6 hits, 1 home run. I don't know if they have updated that to include last night's game. I'm just telling you the stats there. So if this is updated from last night's game, that is his first home run against the lefty. But also, I just also said 37 plate appearances against lefties. He has not had any opportunities out there. You can't go off a sample size of 37 at-bats. He's a 200 hitter in 37 at-bats. You can't look at that and go, nah, he's not good enough. And that you have to keep giving him more to let him prove himself one way or the other.
With any hitter, but in particular, young people. And I had already said, coming into the season, I thought he looked like a platoon guy based on those numbers from last year. But I thought he showed within the first couple of weeks that he deserved the opportunity to prove that he was not a platoon hitter. I'm not predicting that he's going to be Stan Musial. I'm just saying he earned, in my view, the opportunity to play every day.
I want you to go ahead and predict that right now, Rammer. He's 23 years old. I want you to say on these airwaves that we're going to get a Nolan Gorman statue right there on the other side of Busch Stadium for where the Stan Musial statue is.
Uh, I'd say start putting the mold together now.
He was Stan the Man, Nolan the Kid. Nobody in baseball has ever been nicknamed the Kid before, so we can now nickname Nolan.
Uh,
Can we check what day and what city Nolan Gorman was born in? Can we do that before we start comparing him to the other two that I just mentioned? Tony Gonsolin starts tonight. Steven Matz for the Cardinals. No bootlegging lineups as of yet, but bootlegging tavern at 5401 Shoto now in the Grove. Head on out there this weekend. They have the kitchen open until 10 o'clock. Everything else open till 10 on the weekends out at Bootleggin' Tavern, and try the belly bacon that you can the pork belly bacon that you can get added to you can get that added to salads. So you walk in there and you go, I'm gonna have a salad, I'm gonna eat light. Nope, load it up with some of that pork belly bacon. Yeah, put it on there over at Bootleggin'. Steven Matz, we have we have a 6-man rotation now. Steven Matz needs to pitch a lot better if he wants to keep his spot and not lose it to Matthew Libator.
I think that's an excellent point, and hopefully he'll rise to the challenge and make the discussion a healthy one, and one that'll be hard to make a determination. I did hear John Mozeliak say that it wasn't a 6-man rotation, that he might be in the bullpen this weekend. Speaking of Libator, man, I think it's really overcomplicates things. Having said that, I'm not generally a fan of a 6-man rotation. I think these are special circumstances. So rather than get too worked up and have faux outrage, I'll just wait and see how it plays out. See how it goes. When you mentioned Gonsolin, who, man, he's really been good and underrated. People don't talk about him enough, and how that affects the lineup. Normally you would think you'd go jam as many left-handers in there as you can. Kisner's had a good game against him with 2 or 3 hits. So does he get a look tonight? I don't know. I really don't know what they'll do. Also, there's health. Is Edman going to be able to go? And so I think we could see some real mixy, matchy kind of lineups that might be hard to predict for the next couple of days.
I was just about to mention the Tommy Edman thing, how that kind of plays out everywhere else with this, because last night Tommy Edman leaves the game, lower abdomen soreness, and then you saw Juan Yepes come in and hit one of the 4 home runs that inning. But if you look at it, okay, you know what? You give Tommy the day off. Whether healthy or not, you give him the day off. You put Nolan Gorman at second base. You have Wilson Contreras DH. You get Andrew Kisner in the lineup, because Andrew Kisner, I think he earned himself a few more at bats for what he did during that 10-day stretch where Wilson Contreras was the DH. I think Andrew Kisner has earned it. So let him have more than just 1 or 2 starts a week now.
I'm leaning that way too. Another legit alternative would be, though, if he doesn't play and you have Contreras catching Matz, then you could, then Burleson with a left-handed bat in against Gonsolin, although over the course of his career, splits are not very dramatic. Nobody hits him. That's the deal. Nobody hits him. But if you wanted Burleson's bat in there, it might come down to be between the 2 of those for that last spot. Because I think, Nootbaar will play, Donovan will play, and then see what you want to do. Do you want to give Mercado another look? Maybe not. You also could put, as you pointed out, if you want to have Kisner in there and maybe Burleson play left field. So there's a couple subtle differences you can make in the lineup.
One guy that I'm looking forward to watching tomorrow night, and I'm going to be down actually at Enterprise tomorrow, Cole Swindell, Thomas Rhett concert tomorrow night in St. Louis, or same time as the Cardinal game, but Noah Syndergaard gets the start for the Dodgers tomorrow. This is a guy that when he was out there, when he was available, I kind of wanted the Cardinals to take a flyer on him. This was before last year when he pitched for the Angels, and now he's over with the Dodgers. I wanted to, and the last 2 years hasn't been great. 15 games. Yeah,
he hasn't been very good.
So, it's I want to see him in person. I want to see him on my TV and see him pitch for that. And then you have Clayton Kershaw, Jack Flaherty. If we get the Jack that we got last start, and we get the Clayton Kershaw that we've gotten all season, that should be a really, really fun matchup to end this 4-game series on Sunday.
Yeah, Gonsolin is probably the tipping point game of this series, but then again, maybe not. Who knows? Urias was pitching as good as any lefty, except maybe his teammate Kershaw, and the Cardinals lit him up. So I think you just go into it, put your best and hottest guys out there, depending on matchups, and know that if you get decent pitching, you should be very competitive and maybe even have a positive outcome. It was funny about yesterday, Cabrera, a little surprised that he came out to start the 6th because he was terrible in the 5th, terrible then in the 6th. But I think what they were saying was he had been one of the guys you've been counting on. Let's see if between innings, he could kind of correct himself. He didn't. Quick hook, get him out. So I think it probably worked out fine.
Rammer, around the rest of baseball for this weekend, we were big Rays fans this weekend as they have the Brewers down in Tampa. So if you want to do some May scoreboard watching, go ahead and watch that Rays and Brewers series. Cardinals are now they have the same amount of wins as the Reds. Reds open up their series against the Yankees today. That is in Cincinnati. And how about this? Who would have thought middle of May we would have a series between the Diamondbacks and the Pirates where both teams are over 500? That's what we're getting this weekend too out in out in Pittsburgh. Would not have thought that this would have been one of the marquee matchups of the weekend, but here we are here on May 19th.
Yeah, and the Cardinals are out of last place in the National League. So that's a good thing. So keep grinding. And all the, as we said yesterday, all the dominoes will fall if you keep winning your share of games.
Absolutely. Rammer, have a great weekend as we are brought to you each and every day by Munganast St. Louis Acura and Rammer, also Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Give us a call, 314-212-1500. Have one of your friendly lenders get you started on a refi, new mortgage, or whatever you need from Royal Banks.
Cardinals this weekend, lots of giveaways. Go to cardinals.com/promotions. You have the Audi Tumbler, you have the golf umbrella, you have the 2013 beer stein, and the Cardinals will also be honoring that 2013 team that won the National League Championship back in that season under Mike Matheny, who is there at the ballpark all weekend long. And Friday night, tonight, Rammer, if you go to the game, go across the street live at Lowe's up there. Mike Matheny will be the guest of John Rooney and Rick Horton and Mike Claiborne up there for the Live at Lowe's show, or listen to it on KMOX as you are driving home from the ballpark.
It'll be good.
So Mike Matheny, first time in a while. I think first time. This is the first time in a non-managerial role that he's been back at Busch Stadium. So it's he threw out the first pitch yesterday and will be there throughout the weekend.
Conversation will be good.
It should be. We will see you on Monday, hopefully talking about a few more Cardinal victories. For Bob Ramsey, I'm Joe Roderick. This has been Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com.
At St. Louis Acura, we have over 100 new Acura models and over 160 pre-owned models in stock or on the way in May. Get 4.9% financing for up to 60 months on 2023 Acura MDXs, TLXs, Integras, and RDX models. Or get a certified rate as low as 3.49% on certified TLX and MDX models. And you can earn up to $1,500 in loyalty incentives. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.